CCS also brought a lot of sanity, a lot of relation, and built foundations again for the bishops to stand in this region. That when we walk today where we are, I'm happy about the foundation that was set by our forefathers, those who came in Allah. I remember as a priest, through the teachings from CCS, I would never paid my school fees of my children using church money. I remember. All the monies for my school fees for my children has been paid from the farms. It's true, because networking in life is the most thing to do. But people don't like networking. Yeah. Today, even the Bible says that if you humble yourself, you can combine with the kings. It's true. That one I will see from what I learned from media. It is. And on these elders of mine, you must be brought somewhere to move to some level. So that is me. Most bishops and most clergy have gone beyond education of the kings. I'm not again. Today, professors, how many professors do you have in the church? So many. Are all these prophets? Professors? They're not. Now, we know education-wise, clergy are going to do very, very well. So the only problem is that I'm Bishop John Okude. I'm the third bishop of the Diocese of Katakwa, and elected on the 11th of June 2016 and consecrated on the 28th of August 2016. I'm almost exiting, because I'm just almost at the door post, stepping out. Because my time was 9.5 years, but I've done exactly 9, and I'm still remaining with about 5 months to go, and I thank God for this. ADS, I came to know ADS when it was called the CCS, those years, during his birth time. And how I came to know the CCS by that time was that when the bishops came together of the Western region, I don't know how the formation was in Nairobi, in the province, but I knew that the bishops came together from Western region to discuss about a CCS. Then later I asked God what does the word CCS mean, and then I was told it meant Christian Community Services. So I can trace back to when I was appointed to be a member of that ADS committee to represent the Diocese of Katakwa, the way it is done every 2 years or 3 years during the formation of the AGM. So I represented the diocese for so many years. Every time when the bishop wanted a member to ADS, I was among those to represent. Now, it coincided with the leadership that was in the leadership in the region by that time. I remember the first man called Omanyo. Omanyo was the first pioneer, the first ADS. How did you call him, Brahman? Director or what? The director, Omanyo. And I remember going to those meetings for the first time, beginning to learn what is the ADS, what is it doing. And then I came to understand that the ADS is coming to help the ministry of what we call the person, the mission of the church to grow. When I was busy preaching and doing the work for preaching and the other things, then there was a gap on the other side of the Christian. That the Christian is fed spiritually, but now what about the physical part of it? Then you come to understand that now ADS was coming now to do some to supplement on the work of the gospel. So I came down to understand why ADS came in. So when we began attending conference meetings and seminars and workshops, then our minds were opened to understand what ADS meant. And we embraced this ADS as CCS as part of us. And then we had our first APOs, area programs officers. The people that we came to know first, they come down to work with the community. And specifically, they wanted to work with the Anglican community. There's something that I learned, that Anglicans are people that mostly they don't care of their own things. And at the time CCS opened their doors to other members of other faiths to come in as members. I remember a theater, right? The chairman was from a Catholic faith. I remember very well, somebody called Ipoko, Dismas. And I was asking myself, what is it? Because what is this? What is a CCS? So from there, the area programs officer now began sensitizing people to make them understand why CCS is coming down. So the issue of food security, issue of health, issue of advocacy now came down. Then they set committees in those villages, in those areas. So now the committees could carry their own activities. And I think that time that there's something that I learned from CCS, that there was common money for the work to be done, to be used. Unlike now. Kina Brahman wanaenda mahali, anaenda Brahman akifika mahali pale, he wants lunch from the community, like it. But initially, Brahman comes with lunch. Yeah? So today, it's not that way. Then I come to understand that the donors of that time and the donors of today, there's some difference. So I served as a member of that CCS for those years. And as a person, I can say I benefited so much from a CCS. One, as I talked about workshops, trainings, and seminars. As I was among those that were taken for so many trainings by CCS. I remember after Manyo, and then came Canon Masake. I remember Masake sending me out for so many seminars. And one time he told me, John, if there's somebody to be awarded, if I had authority and power, I could award you a degree of all the trainings I've gotten from the CCS. And it's true. That when I came in as bishop now, what I was trained by CCS helped me to carry my duties as a bishop of a diocese. So I want to thank God that that time that I worked with the ACS, okay, I didn't work, but I was a member of ADS and the ACCS until now the new branding came of the new name, ADS. But also I trace back to how it began in our area, because when the 6 bishops met, that nowhere to stand, to make their base, no financial support. I remember them pulling their first resources together, agreeing to contribute 20,000 shillings every diocese. I remember that one very clearly. That the 120,000 they collected stood as now their stepping stone to jump up with the issues of CCS. Because they were to do things, but there's no foundation of financial support from anywhere. So the 20,000 shillings made them to begin their journey as Western Region CCS. And also it brings a lot of relation to the dioceses, because I remember this CCS that united the Western Region bishops. Because Western Region dioceses were created on a lot of division and tribalism and whatever. That is only ADS or CCS that could make the bishops sit together, meet together, discuss together, and even sleep together. It's not like today that when you go for a meeting, a conference, you are given your own room. But in ancient those days, you are given almost 2 to 2. Even your bishops, you sleep in one room. Now, if you are meeting bishops that are from one region, but are not seeing eye to eye one another, that are given to sleep in one room, what happens? So those trainings of ADS brought a lot of unity to the bishops of the Western region. Because I remember the creation of Katakwa, the creation of Nambare, the creation of Butere, even the Bungoma. It was not good as such. And even those others who remained, they were looking Maseno North as also a traitor, because when they were coming out, they gave them nothing. So tayari ikaleta wadui. So they couldn't see one each well. So CCS also brought a lot of sanity, a lot of relation, and built foundations again for the bishops to stand in this region here. So to me, I feel for it. That when we walk today where we are, I'm happy about the foundation that was set by our fathers, those who came in Allah. Because I remember there's Bishop Odeda, Bishop Okiring, Bishop Mumias was Wesa, Obukala, yeah, then Were. So that's the first bishop of those times. So to me, where we are today as a CCS, we are not where they began the journey from. So I want to thank God for that me, John, specifically, I've benefited so much from education by ADS CCS Kenya, Western region. I remember one time, after Masaka retiring, not before he retired, he sent me to Thika. I remember this one so fresh in my mind. We met with this group sometimes in Kakamega. The man called the Makanya from Pelham. I know you don't know, but I remember Makanya from Pelham. Makanya was like a chairman or a CEO of Pelham, Kenya. So we met with Makanya in Kakamega. Then he decided to invite a team from Western Kenya to go and do some training in Thika, Pelham headquarters. That I found a very small organization, organized, with a lot of activities, with a lot of money, with a lot of networking with other organizations. So we were two. I was with this lady called Scholastica from Bungoma, Simiyu. So when you came from Kakamega, I took my report back from Thika. I brought back my report to Kakamega to ADS CEO. I told Masake Canon, what I've seen in Thika is lower than what Western Kenya can do. Where we are far above Pelham, but are doing things far above Western Kenya. Why is the problem? It is when I began discussing with the Canon Masake that sometimes the donors will come and they will leave us. But they will leave us without a structured financial base of our own. But because what I saw in Thika, they harness enough resources, they can stand on their own. They can invite a train, even give some money. And I said, Maseno, Western Kenya, we're not at this level. So when I shared with Masaki, he felt it, is when we touched about the plot of the diocese, of the region. Now when the issue of the region plot came, then I told him, now we have a plot. Why can't we develop the plot? So to me, the things that I've learned from other quarters by CCS and back to myself, I learned so many good things. I can even trace back to, as I say, the issue of management. I learned seriously from CCS. Administration, oh no, he did me very well. Yeah? I was a leader and then leadership from CCS. So Masaka was telling me that I could graduate with a degree. That's what he meant. So the trainings that I underwent are so enormous. But can I tell you what? After my retirement and somebody saw me from somewhere, who I don't know. But because of all that knowledge I had collected, and nobody saw, and somebody that is in me, last year, I was honored and I was given a doctorate degree on those three. In management, in leadership, management and administration. So thank God for this. So CCS has built me enough. When you come down to the field here, when we talk about food security, I was trying to follow keenly. What does it mean? What does food security mean? I remember as a priest, through the teachings from CCS, I would never pay my school fees of my children using church money. I remember. All the monies for my school fees for my children has been paid from the farms. I remember every year, I do harvest beans twice. And especially when I was in Mount Elgon areas. Because in Mount Elgon, you cannot do maize without beans. Unlike this place here. With us, we do it after the first harvest, we do it in the second harvest. So when I was doing the first harvest in Mount Elgon, I could do enough beans. So come June, I could carry my bags from Mount Elgon to schools where my children are learning. And I did it when I even transferred it to the Busia County. I did the same. That I could do enough farming. Where did I get the knowledge? CCS. So CCS to me as a person, it has helped me. Now back to the leadership, even the parish. I told my evangelists, please never wait. Because as I said, I served under his father, who was my mentor. And the ability of doing all this work here, I learned from the old man here, that he mentored me in twofold. He mentored me physically, and he mentored me spiritually. Why physically? This old man could wake up early in the morning. He had so much more than 3-4 responsibilities. He was a lead guru. He was a translator at the D of the chiefs officer Mukura by that time. He was aligned something in the community. And again, he's evangelist of the church. Yeah? So how this old man could manage all those things here, when he brought me closer to him at that tender age of mine, I began learning from him slowly by slowly how he was doing things. And furthermore, by so doing, he is a wonderful farmer. There's nobody in our land who could be the solo in production of food. He's alone. His wife was down, cannot go to the shamba, but he has a lot of food in his home. So by so doing, he could send us to go with him to his farms, do some work in his farms. We are learning seeing the goodness of this work. Because when I see the cotton that he was producing, the weaving that he was producing, and I said, okay, this old man is a good person. Yeah? Here, he works in the church, in the government, in the farm, and he's at home. And I learned something from the old man also. Now when I went to ADS now ADS sasa, he can songesha you to some level. Already, somebody had given a foundation. So I understand that man so much that he mentored me seriously as an elder. Come back to the church work. He's the one again who mentored me in church work. He began to take me to as a reader in the church, reading Sunday lessons, and sometimes give me to do a service. He takes me out for funeral, for burials. They bring for their meetings when they are having my church council. I will sit aside looking at them what they are doing. So I was learning so many good things from him. So that one, when he saw me and he left me as a priest that I love, and I love it so much. So now when the ADS came in, now when I went into the church now ADS held me to that level and took me to those trainings that today I'm proud of. I can produce enough food because of the ADS. I can lead my church because of the education from ADS. I can sit with people because of the education that I got from ADS. I can network from education that I got from any ADS. It is true, because networking in life is the most thing to do, that people don't like networking. Yeah? Today, even the Bible says that if you humble yourself, you can dine with the kings. It is true. That one I was seen from what I learned from ADS and from these elders of mine. You must be brought somewhere to be brought to some level. So that is me. Okay, when I became, I remember somebody when I was a priest. I know we were not allowed. There's no priest who served in the board. No priest. But I remember I think it was Oscar. One time he asked me, Ashidikon, mbona hawa watu pia wakupeleke katika board of directors? And I told him, man, I'm not a bishop to go to the board of directors. Do you qualify to be there? I told him, no. That is another level. But automatically I came there because when I became bishop, I went there. Yeah? Yeah, because before that I served in the PO, the area programs. I do the area ADC. I served as area developer ADC at that level as a priest. I remember serving very well. I was in two committees, lake area and mountain area. So in the mountain area, I served as a vice chair for some time, and then I served again as a chairman because I served with the Mama Lusaka, the late Mama Roda. When I was chair, she was a vice chair. I served with the old man called Murakwa. When he was a chairman, I was a vice chair. At the lake level, lake area, lake region, I served as chairman when there were two canons here. Canon the Holy Francis, when he's chair, I'm the vice chair. When I'm chair, he's a vice chair. And also I served with the late Canon Masiga, the late Masiga. Masiga also we served with him in the same in those areas. So I think that's where I began to understand what leadership meant. When given responsibility as a chair of a region, then all activities of the region are under you as a chairperson. So we managed to have activities in our areas very well. And whenever somebody in our areas loved our area, said, okay. And I remember when Peter came in, Moody, I was a priest in Machakusi. One day he asked me, Chidikon, he came to the dead Suzuki motorbike, when the Suzuki were coming. So we came to Machakusi, we rolled down there, did a meeting, and when he came back, he came again. Now on the third day, he asked me, Bishop, Padri, ulikuwa mwalimu wa shule? I don't know. Nilikuwa mwalimu wa kanisa. I don't know why he asked that way. So that's where we gained this that we're having today by serving at that lower level. So now when I was elected bishop, then I automatically promoted to the board of directors by that time. So most decisions were made by the board of directors. You, the workers, you do your thing they bring today to the board, then the board decides how to do. And I think that there are so many challenges during our time, and I don't know, because now the world was changing, the donors were coming with a lot of languages and a lot of trouble and problems, and we could not do what we wanted to do as a board as such. But I think what we did as a board and our decisions made ADS to stand. Even the policies that are in place today were done during our time. So even the branding that I'm talking about, the new branding was done during our time, from CCS to ADS. So I know that. So, and also I speak always, it is now you, the workers, that now bring the face. We just bring it up, but now you bring the new face and everything. So I want to thank that what we did in ADS during our time, and as a board of director, I thank. Now today again, it has evolved again. Today we call it Board of Trustees. So I'll leave ADS as a member of the Board of Trustees, not directors again, because directors are there. So now today we're now to receive the reports from the Board of Directors. Then just advice on how they should be rolled back to the community and to our people. Now the only challenge is one. The way the political arena sees the church arena is in two different perspectives. And I always tell them that we are here from the word go, from God, that there must be what we call the apostles, the prophets, and the kings. If you remember very well, where the division began is when the people were led by the prophets. What happened? They refused. They said, okay, no. This is what tumechoka dai mambo ya manabii. We want our own king. We want to have our own kings. Then God said, okay, if that's the case, get a king for you. So it has got up to today that you see people don't value the leadership of the prophets. And God knew that the prophets have a secret from God to the leadership. And that's what I know. Because the voice of God is within the prophets. God knows that the people want leaders to lead them, yes. But now the authority of leadership comes from you. From who? From God himself. And because man wanted to go his way, then God allowed him to go. The first king, who refused? God himself. Because he don't listen to the voice of God. Even today, the leadership of today, what we're having in our lands and in the world today, that if people would still come down and listen to the voice of God from the prophets, nothing could go wrong. Because the prophet has nothing in his hand. That's where the challenge is. And the king has a lot of it. All the power, the resources. You go become Yanani? Say, follow me. So the prophet here is seen as a beggar. Begging from the king. So even whatever the prophet has good in his mind, it can be seen this and here. And yet there's a message for the king. So to me, we tend to have to know what we can tell the government. Or a message for the governments from all levels. But you see, in Kanisa too. And until they put us into a corner, that what we only know is only to pray. Most bishops and most clergy have gone beyond education of the kings. I'm not going. Today, professors, how many professors how do you have in the church? So many. Are all MPs prophets? Any professors? They're not.